Hello, party people! It is Randy for Thunderhorse Descendant. I'm here today with Bargain Bead Box project number 1 from April's Bargain Bead Box. I am still videoing upstairs, so videos might be looking a little bit different recently, but it is what it is. Here we are with project number 1. Let's find our beads. All right, we want this guy. This is the guy we want. Alrighty. This is from Blooming Branches. Okay, this is for April Bargain Bead Box 2024. We are jumping into project 1. So if you're new around here, I do the mini-series. Normally it doesn't take me this long, but you know, life and things and stuff have been going on. So here we are on a Saturday. I don't know what day you guys will see this, but it's Saturday, and this is being filmed in front of a live studio audience. Mr. Bunsen and Winter just back there going crazy. So here's kind of our focal point for the day. So I'm excited to get started on this. Let's take a look at our plan. So it looks like I wanted to use twisted silver wire with green crystals to create this branch effect. Do the dyed purple all the way around. This guy in the middle, it needs a clasp and 22 gauge silver wire. So that is what we will be using. Let's get this party started. Get this party. Can't sing that. All right, 22 gauge. We are going to use 22 gauge from the Beadsmith. This is from Taylor's Falls. Bright silver wire. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Raise my chair up a little bit so I can see what we got going on the mat here. All right. So I'm going to get my tools. I'm probably going to need my regular tools. Chain nose, flat nose, round nose, cutter. I don't know that I'll need, oh, crimp tool, crimper. Where's crimper? Crimper. We'll start with that. In case you guys were wondering, these are my 2 favorite tools that I use, and we do try to keep these stocked up on Thunderhorse Descendant. So this is the chain nose, this is the flat nose, and these are from Taylor's Falls. Okay, what kind of beading wire are we going to use today? We're going silver. Let's try... Let's try the super fine. Do we want to use super fine, or do we want to use... You know, I think I do. Let's try it. I'm going to try the super fine sterling silver color from Softflex. Okay. Try that out. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's going all over. Let's get our beads going. And get everything set up. Alrighty. So I am probably going to end up using the whole strand of this, and I might have to add some of these crystals into the portion, the chain portion, like the beaded strand portion, because I don't know that I'll have enough length, but we shall see how it turns out. All right, I like those green. It's really pretty. I love a green and purple colorway. That's just me. You know how it is. And I've got my pendant. I like the way it's looking already. So I'm going to use, let's see, let me get a jump ring. I'm going to put a sterling silver, stainless steel oval jump ring on the pendant just to start out with. So that's ready to go. If you've been around here for a while, you know that I like to get everything ready to go before I really jump into it. So this is no different. We're going to just get everything ready. Just making sure I got that closed up really well, and that guy's ready to go. Okay, and then I am actually, before we even start our stringing process, I'm gonna do the branch portion of this design. So, if you watched our planning video, you know that I said this is kind of the idea. This is wire wrapped, twisted, if you will. So if you think of those like hair clips, you know, those hair clips that have like the twisted beads on them, that's kind of the gist here that I was going for. So I'm going to get this portion ready, basically create like a link with it. So then I can just go ahead and start the beading process after that's done. And I'm going to attempt to use 22 gauge just because I think that I need to have a little stability. And I've never done this before, so I am not exactly sure how much and what I'm gonna need here. So let me just see about it. I'm just gonna start by putting on, how do I wanna do this? I'm just gonna start by putting a bead on, that's all I can do. And I'm just gonna twist. All right. That seems to be going pretty good. Let's put on another one. I'm gonna make it kind of short. I want my branches to be kind of short. Put another one on here. And I'm just wrapping around. Okay, so that's what I got so far. I'm digging it. Whatever's happening here, I like it. Okay, so I'm thinking make like a little branchy branch. For that guy. And then perhaps I could give this a little more stabilization by going back down. Judy. Interesting. Okay, so I have that, which I will probably have to add on to another branch. I'm going to start in the middle this time. I feel like maybe that would be better for my branch situation. So I'm going to go to the middle of the wire and start. you know, we are the masters of the wire, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, you know, if I need to add this on to another branch or whatever. This is just like a really super kind of organic situation, which, as it should be. Just kind of going for it, whatever I feel needs to happen in the moment, that is what I'm doing. So that's what I got with this one. I am going to tuck this in. And then I'm going to attempt to wrap this one onto this other one. And there's no rhyme or reason here. I just am figuring it out as I go along. So I feel like I would like to put it here. I am leaving this tail in case I should need it for some reason. And I'm gonna put this in there. I'm gonna wrap him around there. Give this guy a little more stability here. Up the just using that excess wire. Make sure it's not sharp. I feel like it's going pretty well. I will be able to maneuver these, you know, however I feel like I need to. Once I need to do that. So I'm gonna keep going. Oh, okay. Soft flex wires going all over the place here. All right, so into the middle, start wrapping, twisting it around. Make this one a little longer. And then this one. Make this one a little longer as well. And so with these ones, I will say, just from past experience, so like this one I kind of twisted around and hung on to it with, but with this one I'm wrapping one kind of around the other because I don't want to break my bead and I don't want to break the wire by twisting it too much. Kind of like when you twist a bread tie long enough, it just snaps, you know? I don't want that. So I'm doing like this here. And then when I get to the end, I am trying to trim this and then tuck it so that it's not scratchy. But like I said, there's really no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. I'm just creating what I think I would see in nature. This is completely up to you. I could do one more on here, or I could add it in, which I think I want to add it up here on this main part by wrapping it around. And I think I want to wrap also kind of to bunch these a little more together. Get this one involved. Woo. Oh, that's pretty cool. And then I can bend the branches however I want. That's kind of fun. I like this. I think I shall do some more. Okay, let's see what I can do with this one. I'll do a little short one right there. Do a longer one over here. If you guys have made stuff like this, or maybe those hair ties and stuff, or those hair clips, let me know down in the comments. I've never done this before. It's actually kind of really fun. I mean, not that I didn't think it would be fun, but I just, you know, never got involved, as they say. Oop. That one kind of slipped a little bit. I ended up with this little loop right here. I might be able to use that to my advantage. It was an accident, but hey, can I thread this in here? Just for fun. Let's see if we can thread that into this one. And then I'm going to come back down, wrap it around here. I do feel a pokey part from one of my areas where I cut. Well, I am digging it. I'm debating if I should do more of these little guys. So, I'm kind of having fun. I kind of want to do another one. Yeah, why not? If you're having fun, it must be the right thing, right? I'm going to do another one. Make kind of a longer one, perhaps. I'll make this one really short. That one got wrapped up on itself. I don't think I want that. Okay. Literally making branches for the blooming branches. I mean, come on. All right. So for this one, where do I want to put this one? Do I want to put it in the top? I think, see, look, I got this, this was an accident. I accidentally got a little loop here, but I think I'm going to use that as part of my connection. And then I'll just do like a wire wrapped loop down on this side. So, as I say, there's never any mistakes. It just happens to work out, you know? Maybe I could do this one kind of in the middle, one on each side. Let's try that. I think to keep it that way, I might have to wrap this one kind of tighter. And then perhaps around with this branch. Hey, okay. So, this is quite fun. Now I wonder, I'm going to cut this and I'm going to create this as a link, basically. Using this one as the top, which I can either, I'll probably just like loop into with my beading. So down here, I could add a couple of beads here. And then maybe that'll give me a way to transition into the purple and the green, like sporadically tapering down. So I think 4 might be too much. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 3. Okay. And then I'm just gonna wrap this to end it as we normally would any wire wrapped loop, right? Over the top, spin, and wrap all that down. Well, this worked out pretty good. It's working out exactly as I saw it in my head. So that's cool. I like it when it's very organic in the fact of like how it was made. There's really, you know, you can kind of do whatever you want. You can wrap your branches around one another. Once you get it on your necklace, you could fussy around with it, you know? So I'm digging that. So now we have a link. So this is a link. I'm going to put my link up towards the top of the necklace. So I do kind of want the branches to be kind of all flowing upward. This one is a little bit long, so I'm going to wrap it around. And also by doing that, I'm kind of like also making sure everything's going to kind of stick together. Well, you can like move them up if you want to. I just don't want them to be looking like they're all the same size is my thing. It's very cute. I dig it. Okay, well, let's move on to the actual beading portion of this. So, like I said, I'm going to use this Soft Flex Ultra Fine. It says it's got a test weight of 13 pounds, so we should be good to go. So for this, I got too much came off here. I gotta see what I'm gonna do here. All right, so I'm gonna give this a snip. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, calm down. Okay, so in the design, I just want to show you so you guys know, what is this? So you guys know what I'm talking about where I'm going to start. Okay, so I had a bookmark. Okay, so this is supposed to be this for the side, right? So it's kind of up to the top. So now I'm thinking, you know, when you're wearing this, it's going to be maybe at the collarbone. I'm putting it on myself right now. You don't want it like touching the neck being weird, you know, so it's going to be more towards the collarbone is where the top is going to end, like the bottom of the collarbone is what I'm thinking in my head. So I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to go all the way around and end up here by the clasp and get this whole portion done because I'm going to have to measure out this portion to see where exactly I want this to hit. So I think for that, so we're basically going to be going like this, right? So right now I'm just thinking, oh, do I want to just transition into this? I think what I want to do is to make this a little less stark, like going from beading to wire. I'm going to do a couple of just beads, wire wrapped beads here. You wouldn't have to, but I want it to kind of like taper out a little bit. So I'm going to do maybe 1 or 2 wire wrapped beads. Not that you would have to. I mean, this is just design choices. Okay. So let me do that. And I think I'll just wire wrap onto it. Yeah. Go around 3 times. And then I'm just going to put a bead. And I'm going to wire wrap this guy. One, 2, 3. Yeah, like that. I'll do another one. Now, I could do that up at the top too, but I am not, these are like, this is like the end of the branch, like in my head, like this is the end of the branch, so there wouldn't be any more green beads up there. I mean, there could be. I mean, I guess, you know, this wouldn't have to be the end, but in my head, I'm like, okay, that's the end of the branch. So it's going down. So up here, I'll probably just tie in with my beading. And we're only going to have about maybe that much beading up there or something. You know, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy, they said. So I'm going to do a purple and a green and a purple. And right here, I'm kind of starting that taper of not only beads and bead colors, but of wire. So now when I start moving down, it'll just make me feel like it's a little more cohesive. Okay. All right, so I'm digging that. Seems functional. Well, actually, it's supposed to go this way. In my head, it goes this way. I don't know why. It's pretty functional, so that's good. So now, I think, even though this is soft flex, I am going to go ahead and use a wire guardian. And I need a tube. So I'm using this super fine. I'm looking to see if it tells me what size crimp tube to use. I'm assuming it's going to be a 1. But I don't know if it's under the sticker or if it just doesn't say. But I'm going to go ahead and use the 1 because it's very small. Woo. Tried to pull 1 out of there and got 5. Okay, horseshoes, or wire guardians, if you will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my horseshoe down, and I'm going to thread on. There's a place to thread on your wire. You're going to follow it around the other side. Okay. And you are going to end up with this guy on there. And what we're going to do is we are going to take our little teeny tiny crimp tube and put that on. He's so little, you probably can't even see him. And we're going to go down, all the way down. And we're actually going to go put that tail through there as well. It's not a tight fit, I'm just struggling because it's so small. Okay. So, once I get this all up here where I want it, I got to make sure I have my micro crimper, which, to be honest with you, I don't know. Oh yeah, it's here. I was going to say, I don't know where it is. This is my micro crimper. I should put those Beadle-on giraffe covers on there. I know which one is the micro crimper right off when it's laying on the desk. So sorry, we're like switching back and forth. I talked about this in the Beading unboxing video, but this is my flat plier. It's my micro crimper, and this is my chain nose. So I'll put this guy on there so I can easily identify which one is the micro crimper. I got some of these last year as well, and I put them on my, I have them on some stuff downstairs so I can tell the difference between my tools. It does take a little hot second to get used to this. It's a little bit slick, but I mean, once you get used to it, it's pretty good to go. So they're just like little gloves for your pliers and whatnot. Just little finger gloves for your pliers. I do like to kind of pull it up over the top of this little stuff here. And I will say, there we go. And I will say that a lot of the pliers that we have, they have those hinges, right? So these are all pliers from all different companies that we have right here. So these two are from Taylor's Falls. They have the hooks. This one is a cutter, has hooks. This one is another crimper, and it has these hooks. Now, not all pliers have this, but these are mostly beadsmith tools. I mean, I bought them in different places, but like as an example, like this is my junk cutter, and this one doesn't have any shoulders, if you will. This is a X-Ron. It doesn't really have shoulders. But again, this is a beadsmith, and it does have shoulders. So maybe that's the gig. I don't know. I'm just letting you know that that's what I'm doing to easily identify this away from other tools, because I have, like when I first got my flat plier, I even had to, I like tried to paint on it so I could tell the difference, or I put a piece of tape on it. So this is actually, you know, pretty okay. I'm okay with it. Okay, let's get in here and do this little teeny tiny crimping. Make sure that these are not twisted. Go into the first one and squish. Look how little. It's just tiny. It's just a baby. And then I turn it sideways, and I'm going to go into the first. This is no different than a regular crimping situation. It's just smaller. So yeah, there you go. Pretty good out of 10, I gotta tell you. Oh. You guys, did you see? Nobody stopped me. Nobody even said anything. They're just like, well, okay, Randy. I didn't put it on there. Listen, I'm not about working harder. I'm just gonna make another link. Mess with me some more. Got distracted. That's what happens when I get distracted. Okay, not a problem. Remember not to panic. Wire wrap onto here. Layer wrap onto here. If you didn't want to do a link, you could just attach with a jump ring, or you could cut it and restring it if you want. I ain't trying to do all that. Instead, I'm just going to do another one of these guys. Have myself a lovely day. Ooh. Now, before I finish this loop, I'm just going to open it up Put my horseshoe in there. Because there's no rules. There's no rules at Thunder House. No rules beading over here. Just do what you want. Start at the middle, start at the bottom, start upside down, whatever you gotta do. I guess the only rule is that you have to do something. you have to do beading. That's a rule. I have to do beading pretty much every day. All right. Well, there we go. We're in it to win it. Just bend this up a little bit. Okay. Now, all we have to do is start putting on our beads. Now, I probably will cover that. Let's see what we're working with here. It's not too bad, but I think I probably will cover it just because I want to. So I'm just going to start putting on beads. I'm going to count, what's that, 4, 5. Okay, I'll put a couple of beads on here and then I am going to trim this tail a little bit. Okay, so I got 5. So now that I've added this extra length, it did give me a little bit of extra length. So now I got to think, okay, because I got to also put on my pendant, don't forget. You know, where's that going to go? But I want to get away from this kind of, I don't know what you want to call this, hingey part a little bit to give it a little more functioning. So I'll probably end up over here a little ways. So I got 5. I think I'll put on 10. Well, I'm going to put on a crystal. Remember, we're tapering in the crystals. 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll put another crystal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to put my pendant. So, if this part ends up, sorry, you guys can't see everything. Let's go to 1. There we go. If this ends up where I think it's going to end up, we've actually made the necklace a little bit longer, which is fine, I think, because of the nature of this. So now what I'm going to do is over here, I'm not going to put any green. No green on this side. I mean, I guess I could do, maybe I'll do 1 here. I'll do 5 and then 1. And then the rest of these will just all be purple. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. You guys know how to string, right? So I'm just going to do that and then I'll meet you back up at the top because otherwise we're going to end up with a super long video. All right, guys, we're back up here at the top. Now, I did not finish the top off. I don't know if you can see that. I've just left it loose because I have to see if where we're going to end up with this. These are all the beads I have left for this side. So you might have to do a little evening out. So I'm going to get a little smidge more of this Soft Flex Fine. And I'm going to go ahead and put my bead stopper on here so I don't lose it all over the place. You know how that goes. And then we're going to come to this side. And I'm going to go ahead. I thought I had a, oh yeah, he's so small I can't even see him. Okay, so I'm gonna try to attempt to do the bead, the horseshoe situation correctly this time. Okay, so once I have my horseshoe on there, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to go through this loop right here. And it should fit. Oh, I'm tangled up. Okay, let me just get this one out of the way here. Okay, so it should fit in there. Just like that. Okay, if it didn't fit, and if you didn't have this loop, you could wear wrap on, I mean, you could put your horseshoe over the top of this bead. You would find a little place basically to add a jump ring, and then you would attach onto the jump ring. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. All right. So here we go with our size 1, little teeny tiny guy. Now, if you're not using horseshoes or wear guardians, you don't have to. You could just crimp on with your wire, right? So I'm going to get this the way that I want it. I'm going to make sure it is not tangled up. I feel like it is tangled up. Okay. And then, there we go. I'm going to crimp it with my mini crimper. Okay, and then I'm going to crimp again, and the crimp looks good. Okay. So now I'm going to just string on what is left of these beads here before I can end the necklace, because I may have to do a little maneuvering up top here. I think I had originally 15 beads for this. We'll see what the count is in the end. Okay, so what I'm talking about is we got to make sure that these are even before we finish it. So as you can see, as I'm pulling it, I'm just getting gravity involved. I know you guys can't see that, but as I'm pulling it out even, you can tell that this one is longer than the other. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm just going to have to even these out. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 beads, so I'm going to leave 2 on this side, take off 3, put this one to the side, go to the other side and put on these 2. And then we should be even. Let me get gravity involved once more. Yes. So we're completely even with 1 bead to spare. Put that guy over here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put on the findings. Again, putting the findings on is really, maybe I am, here they are. We're gonna use the size 1 crimps again. And am I going to, I feel like I should give this guy a lobster claw because I can put an extender chain in case we have to be doing a little finessing with where we want the little branches to hang. Maybe you don't want them touching your neck. Maybe you want them, you know, elsewhere. So I am going to put an extender chain with a lobster claw clasp. And I am having to get those things from my stash. All right. We're going to finish her up. First thing we're going to do on this side is, well, better put this on here so I don't lose it. I'm going to go with my crimp tube, then the horseshoe. Ooh, got a little piece of my mat on there. All right. Now this is up to you. You can go ahead and go right into the lobster if you want to. I am going to just finish it, and I'm going to attach my lobster with a jump ring. That is a design choice. I sell a lot of things. Sometimes, you know, if things wear out or break or need to be fixed, I don't want to have to redo the whole entire thing. So just doing it with a jump ring will make it easy for me to fix something if, say, the lobster claw, you know, gets worn out or something like that. So, easy peasy. I'm going to make sure this beaded strand situation is all working out for me. You can see here in the end I have my little tail sticking out. I gotta get him tucked away before I can do anything more. All right. And then I am going to leave it, I'm not going to make it super tight. I am going to leave a little bit of space here. We are going to do a couple of crimp covers and things. So I am going to leave a little bit of space. Pull this up a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and crimp. The crimp is good. I'm going to trim that off. So let's go ahead with our covers since we're on this side. I'm going to want to use some small covers. So you can see in here I have a bunch of different sizes. The smallest I have is 3mm. I'm going to want to use that. If you need different sizes, I get most of mine at either at Taylor's Falls or Beadalon. Okay, we're going to load up our crimp cover like so. Come around here. I'm going to make sure it is covering. You want to come straight on. I know this might be hard to see. You want your hand to be straight on. You're going to push into the mat and close. You're going to commit. Bead travesties. Yeah, you're going to commit to the crimp. And then just go in and make sure that everything is closed up good. Okay. We're going to go down here to the bottom as well. We're just going to ignore that, pretend it's not there. Because we're in the trenches. We cannot be bothered. So we're going to load it up. Make sure it is covering everything. Push into the mat and close. Straighten everything up here. All right, looks good. Okay, so that portion is complete. Now we need to finish this part. I'm going to need another crimp tube. What do I keep doing with those crimp tubes? Did I throw them around? Where'd they go? Oh, here they are. I keep putting them away, which is good, I guess. Well, I only need one. We're going to do the same thing over here on this side. So, I'm going to make sure that everything is tucked in there. Okay, so again, we get our crimp tube on, our horseshoe, he keeps snapping back in place. He's like, I don't belong up here. Okay. Oop. Okay, so again, we are going to use a couple of bead covers. So I am going to leave a little bit of space, not too much. And get a hold of that guy. I'll push him up a little bit. There we go. And crimp. Crimp is good. Okay, and then a couple of bead covers. Yeah, it's super stuck together. Sometimes if you just drop them on your mat, they'll come apart. Okay, same thing here. We're gonna load it up, and let me get this ready to go. Coming straight in, push into the mat, commit to the crimp. And give her a little straighten here. Other side. Alrighty. Oh, my camera's gonna die. Hopefully you guys can see. My screen is really dark, so I can't see what you're seeing. But here we go. So all we have to do now is to get a couple of jump rings and put on our lobster and our extender chain. And I'm going to do that with oval, bright silver ovals. I think I'm going to go with 6s. Yeah, that's an 8. what we consider to be the small ovals. And I'm going to put my lobster on this side. My extender on this side. Okay, gotta get these beads out of the way here. Get all this stuff out of the way. All right. I think you could put a little bead charm on the end of your extender as well. I probably will. But here we go. That, I hope you guys can see it. I can't really see what you guys are seeing right now. Hopefully you can see the whole thing. You can see my mess of it. Like the beads are just everywhere. But yeah, okay. So here is, can give these a little bend if they're not laying correctly. But this is the finished product. You guys, I really like it. I think that it turned out pretty much exactly how I thought it was going to turn out. So here's the original design. And there's the finished product. So yeah, I think it turned out exactly the way that I wanted it to. So I'm happy with it. I'm glad that we did this little kind of taper over here. It just kind of gives it a little more branchiness, if you will. Branchiness, official term. Yeah, so let's get a final count on those beads up the top and a measurement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 14 beads on the top. And final measurement. Twenty inches. So, there you go. I really like it, you guys. Alrighty. Well, this has been project number 1 from the Bargain Bead Box. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. If you are, please make sure to do a like, make a comment. Let me know that you are liking this type of content so that I know that you want me to keep doing it. And I will be getting a few photos of this once my phone gets charged back up. And there you go. All right, guys, I hope you have a great and wonderful, spectacular, wait, no, how's it go? Hope you have an amazing, spectacular, a wonderful, amazing, spectacular beading day. All the things. I hope you have all the things and the stuff. Yes. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.